Hey Panda parents, I just want to take a few minutes to update you on how we're doing on our COVID-19 response. I must say the synopsises overall, we're doing fantastic. But I know that many of you have had some questions. I haven't had a chance to talk to you for a while, so I thought I'd come back and just give you a quick update. First of all, you need to know that we continue to follow our same process and guidelines that we began all the way back before school started. We said we're going to have a three-legged stool for how we open our school, and we still do that. The first and obviously the most important thing is the health and safety of our students and staff. Everything we do is focused on that. The second piece is the continued academic growth of our students. And we know students all across the country have lost ground academically. I'm proud to say our students are on track and continue to move. And the third piece was to be healthy and safe, continue the academic growth at the same time to not overburden our teachers and staff. And I think we're doing a pretty good job in that regard as well. So that continues to be our guiding principles as we move forward. Now, you may have seen in the news recently that the CDC's released their guidance for opening schools. I read that with interest and really happy to say that all the things they've recommended, East Point Academy has been doing since way back in the fall, right? So the things they've recommended is first, universal hand washing, and so we're doing that, universal wearing of masks, physical distancing, and contact tracing. And so those things we've been doing really well since the beginning of this pandemic. And we've been doing even more. Some of the things we've done extra is the purchase of electrostatic or isostatic disinfecting machines, so that when students leave their classrooms, we follow up with disinfecting those classrooms when they go to recess or lunch or to related arts. We purchased independent air filtration systems that we place at strategic parts around the school to continue to filter the air. And it filters about 3,000 square feet an hour and makes it virus free. We physically distance the desk, and I want to talk about that word just a little bit. So many times you hear the word social distancing, and we don't social distance here at East Point Academy. We want to stay socially connected to our students and to you, but we want a physical distance so that we avoid as much as we can the spread of this virus. So we're really doing great in that regard. The last thing that I want to talk about is how we contact trace, and I know sometimes that can be a little bit confusing. You need to know that we're always going to take the most safe approach to keeping our kids safe. So let's talk about that. There's really kind of two things that can happen. The first is a direct contact, and that really kind of happens in two ways. One, if a student has a direct contact at home, but they never come to school, that's great. If that happens, that student and that student alone has to stay home with their family until they can come back to school. Unfortunately, there have been a couple of times when students arrive at school and we find out that they were positive with COVID-19. That's a direct contact for the whole class or potentially the whole class. And in that case, we're going to quarantine that group of students. And really, we're just going to move them from on campus to off campus. So if you're a direct contact, but you've never been in our school, that's fine. You can quarantine that individual student. If you've been in direct contact and been in the school, then unfortunately we're going to have to ask that whole group of students to quarantine. The next is called a contact of a contact. And in those cases, it just means that a student was in contact with somebody who was in contact with somebody with COVID-19. In those cases, there's no need to quarantine, but we still advise you about that just so you know, and we'll let you know to keep an eye on your student to make sure that they're staying safe and healthy. Now, you need to know we're going above and beyond what's required. Many students have had zero time that they have missed in school. It's just the luck of the draw. They've never had anyone in close contact or anyone in direct contact in their classrooms, and so they've rocked and rolled the whole year long. Unfortunately, there are some students that have had multiple impacts. In those cases, I'm really sorry, but I'm also very proud of the fact that we're able to move from on campus to off campus in a seamless way. And of course, my hope, like yours, is that every student can be in school every day. So for those of you that are off campus, you're doing great. Make sure you're staying connected and engaged with your teacher. You need to know that we have been in school for 112 days, and all but 2 of those days have been on campus. And those other 2 days were scheduled e-learning days that we knew about at the beginning of the year. So we're doing an amazing job. Together, we've taken steps to make sure that our students and staff are safe, that our students are continuing to grow and spend time together, grow socially and emotionally. And we've taken steps to make sure that all their learning needs are provided. So thanks to our awesome teachers who show up here every day. Every teacher came back from the very beginning of school, selflessly devoted to your children to make sure they continue to learn and grow. Thank you to you parents for being engaged and supportive. You guys are amazing. Thanks for all you do to support our school. And mostly thanks to our amazing kids who keep their mask on, who keep good distance among themselves and focus on their teacher and learning and do it in a different way. Without us all working together, we can't make it. I'm so proud to be part of the Panda team, so proud of the school. Thanks to everybody for all you do. Remember, be nice and work hard.